So this I'm going to go with that. So now we need to do basically the same thing for our button. However, in this case it's a little different because Xcode allocates and initiates memory for a UI button in a different way. So in this case we need a button, and we need to do this in a different way. So just memorize this line of code because it's pretty it's pretty common, and some things you just have to memorize and there's no other way. Yeah, button, what was it like? It was the button with, what was it like, UI, of course, yeah, sorry for this mistake. Yeah, button with type this, here we go, UI button type, yeah, we want to have a round correct one. And yeah, we need a frame. This is very important. It's always the same frame. So, because in this case, cdirect make, the same goes for here. So, however, we want to place it a little beneath the other one. However, it has the same size. So, this is basically it, and we want to leave the text here, and yeah, this is actually it, except for one thing, because we use a button, right? So if you click on the button, we want to make it do something. So if you click on it, it should execute some method. So how do you do this? This is very important. You do this via creating. So first you use a first call button. Then you have a target. The target is the button itself. Then you need a selector because you have to tell Xcode what kind of selector you want to use. In this case, you have to mention the method that should be executed. So because we haven't programmed any method up to now, let's just use a placeholder name. Let's just call it the method we use for our button. Okay, so this should be done if we control events, touch up inside. This is the touch up inside is basically this type of UI control event that you use in 90% of all button creation events in general. You can say it this way, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. So touch up inside is pretty common. Okay, so you have everything. You have your button, you have it allocated, you have it initiated, you have your frame, you have a text, and you have a method. So this is basically it. Now we have to create a text field, and it's the same thing. My first cool text field. You have to allocate some memory, UIText, alloc, you have to init with a frame, cdirect make, let's just put a little on that, like 50, 250, same width and height. So now, yeah, that's pretty important. My first code, you have to create some sorry, of course, text field. That's the reason why the property didn't pop up. Border style, of course. You have a border style. So UI text border. UIText. Yeah, this is it. Round rect. The one we usually use. And yeah, actually this is not the text I want to see, it is the placeholder I want to see. Yeah, this is the placeholder, and so this is it. It's basically what we need. Okay, so let's just run and let's see what we have. Okay, we have nothing. So this is also, yeah, of course we don't have anything because we forgot to do something, which is pretty important. Okay, what we have forgotten is to add the line of code that says, okay, please Xcode render each UI element. Okay, how do we do this? First of all, we need to say self view, add subview, and then the view is in this case our UI element, my first cool label. So, and I'm gonna copy and paste it here as well, because we need it for each one. Okay, however, of course we have to change that. It's a button here, and it's a text field here. Of course, now let's just stop and run. Okay, so this looks a little weird up here, so we're gonna place the UITextfield a little beneath the label. Let's just use 100. And we're gonna use just a little more space. Let's just say 200. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, I don't like this green color, so let's just use some other color, like black color. Okay, better. Okay, so you see, we have our placeholder text and we have the text for our UILabel. What we don't have is the text for our UIButton. So this is a problem. So we forgot to introduce something. So we have an error here, and another problem we're facing right now is if we click on the button here, our app should crash. Why? Because the UIButton has a method which looks for another method to execute, and if this line of code here cannot execute this method here, then it crashes because this is a requirement to make it function here. Okay, so just take a look at it. Boom. Yeah, that's it. So we have to solve two problems. We need to go back to our view controller.n, and first we will solve the problem with the text on the button. So the problem here is this line of code is not correct because we need to have to do it in a different way. My first cool button, set title. Yeah, it's here we're gonna set at my first cool button for UI control event. UI control. Yeah, in this case we need to be careful because we want to make it appear when we do nothing. So in this case we want to use it when its state is normal. So that should solve the problem with the text. Yeah, here we go. We have our button text. So that worked. So now what we have to do is we need to create a method for this selector here. So what we're going to do is we copy and paste the name of the method we're going to use. We're going to create it down here as a void method. We're gonna do it here, so we have to implement it here in the view controller. We declare it. However, the most important part is down here. You can put it down here, and here we need to give it some code. So what we're gonna do, so let's just look at the app again. So the most important thing here is we want to make this text here, not this placeholder text, the text coming in via this UITextfield, make it appear in the UILabel. So the text coming in here overwrites this text here and it displays itself up here. So what we have to do is the my first label text is equal to my first UITextfield text. So, which means that should be working. Just introduce some text. Yep, and it worked. Well, this is my own text, and yeah, it works. So, as you can see, we have another problem. The problem we're facing here is we have this keyboard here, and it pops up when you try to introduce some text in the UITextfield. However, if you introduce, or if you click on my first cool button, then you don't want this to stay here any longer. So you have to close it. So how do you do this? You need to go to the method we use for our button, and what is pretty important is you have to say the element, the UI element that is the channel for getting the text. So in this case, it is my first text field has a resign first responder. So this makes the keyboard close itself. Okay, let's just run, check it out. So let's just introduce my new text, and here we go. It works, and it also closes the keyboard. So I hope you enjoyed this little video here. I'm gonna publish some other videos dealing with some other topics regarding programming iPhone apps. I would be very happy about some comments, some suggestions about new topics or some other things you would like to see on my channel here. And I hope you're gonna continue watching these videos, because I'm gonna show you how to program your own professional iPhone app. So see you next week. Bye.